What is your American dream?
My American dream is to have a family and to just live a successful life, a life, in abundance, and to give back as well to the community and society that I live in.
My American dream at the moment is just to raise a family and be happy.
My American dream is pretty simple: peace and justice for all.
I'm from Russia. I don't live in America, but my American dream is peace around the world, peace between countries.
My American dream is that everyone has freedom of a lot of different things: freedom of speech, freedom to get whatever they're trying to accomplish in life, their dreams, their goals. Every dream that Americans have is something that's tangible and something that can be accomplished.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. It's Friyay! It's Pop-Up Friyay! Happy Friyay, everybody! We got a big show on our Pop-Up, a big weekend coming up. It's Juneteenth, it's Father's Day, lots going on. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, what's going on your end?
Everything, all the above, what you just said. Juneteenth, happy Father's Day in advance, Uncle Brad.
Correct, thank you very much. Thank you. And happy Father's Day to your fathers as well. And it's Friyay and Pop-Up, so let's get to it. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Let's see who is subscribing and who's not. Jessica Levy, squad up. Nina God Pickney, squad up. We see them subscribing. Joan Ambitious Powell, squad up. Happy Pop-Up Friyay. Nina God Pickney, I said already. Joy Titus, Sasha Ford, Dawn Harriet, how are you? John Adal, Stacy, Determined Lewis is watching, and Christy Kinsali, Aziz Goose, and Cynthia Robindari saying happy Friday, happy Friyay. We call it Friyay here. Westman, #1 on YouTube, how are you? Squad up. Shan Smithson, hi Brad, squad, Deion Watson, Shetty Manduri, Muhammad Kamara, Vanessa, Pop-Up Time, Elizabeth Francis, happy weekend to you as well. She's wishing everybody a happy weekend. Squad up to David Bercelli, Christopher Gray, Stacy Dahl, and of course the Top Cat, Tigress 2, Anderson. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, it's Pop-Up Friyay. Let's get this thing in a good mood.
Absolutely. All right, squad. I need you guys to remember to share, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad about some real feel-good Friyay stories, including learning about one of the central figures in the campaign to make Juneteenth a national holiday.
And in honor of Father's Day this Sunday, we'll learn about a man who is giving his dad knowledge and support to people over the internet so that even those without an in-person dad can have a virtual father figure.
And of course, you can get on our show right now by calling 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's 212-227-8933. The good thing about Pop-Up Friyays is that really, unless you subscribe, you don't know we're coming on, and we have nobody on hold, so the subscribers get an opportunity to call into our show right now. 1-800-529-5465. On regular shows, when we go off at 6 o'clock, everybody knows we're coming on. Our phones are lit up before we even get on our show. But right now, it's just for all you subscribers. Call 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's 212-227-8933. I have in my hand, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, only happy Friyay news.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's schmooze. So we have nothing today, Yo-Yo, that you can possibly say is trifling. I hope not. I hope not. Friyay is supposed to be Friyay. We don't want any trifling
Nothing
news.
trifling.
Nothing trifling. All right. Yesterday, by the way, I don't know. Did you ever hear about this 94-year-old woman, Opal Lee? Have you heard about her?
Oh,
She
no, I just
was next to. I didn't know anything about her until I read that she was next to President Biden when he signed had the ceremony signing Juneteenth as a national holiday. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this lady. There she is right there, standing next to President Biden as he signed the documentation to make Juneteenth a national holiday. Lee grew up in Marshall and Fort Worth, Texas. She celebrated Juneteenth every year. And on Juneteenth in 1939, when she was 12 years old, a white mob raided and burned down her family's home. During his speech before the signing, Biden asked the audience to give Opal Lee, who was seated in the front row, a standing ovation. He got down on one knee as Vice President Kamala Harris introduced her, saying, "You are an incredible woman," and gave Lee the pen he used to sign the bill into law. Now, wow. Lee told reporters after Congress passed the bill on Wednesday, "I'm so delighted to know that finally we have got Juneteenth bill passed, and now we can all finally celebrate the whole country together." Now, for the two people out in the world who don't know what Juneteenth is, it is often referred to as Freedom Day or Emancipation Day. We're celebrating June 19th, 1865, when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced to the slaves that were still working in the plantation fields that slavery is now over, you are free. And these were the last slaves, the last enslaved people in America to find out that they were free. And this was months and months after the end of the Civil War. Unfortunately, in the 1860s, there was no internet and no telephone. So Juneteenth has been celebrated by Opal Lee for almost her entire life. Now, at the age of 89, remember, she's 94 years old.
Wow.
Opal Lee decided her new life mission was to spread the word about Juneteenth to everybody. And she figured the best way to do it was to help get Juneteenth accepted as a national holiday. So in 2016, Opal decided to start with a walking campaign. And she walked 1,400 miles from her home in Fort Worth, Texas, as an 89-year-old woman to Washington, D.C. to bring awareness and support to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
From Texas to Washington, you said, Brad?
1,400 miles.
Wow.
I am 52 years old, and I would not be able to do that walk. She's 89 years old. Took her several weeks. Lee arrived in cities where she was invited to speak. So during this walk, she's giving speeches.
Wow.
And she walked 2.5 miles to symbolize the 2.5 years that it took in several cities, she would walk 2.5 miles before her speech as a symbol for the 2.5 years that it took for enslaved people in Texas to learn that they were free. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation was several years before. The end of the Civil War was in 3 months. She said, "I was thinking that surely somebody would see a little old lady in tennis shoes trying to get Congress to notice to pass this law." Now, since then, Opal Lee has become known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. Her annual walks culminated in a trip to the Capitol in September, carrying a petition signed by 1.5 million Americans, urging Congress to pass legislation to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. She went year after year, was never successful. But undeterred, she returned again in February as a new version of the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act was introduced. Now, she is the grandmother, the face of Juneteenth. I want to just say a couple of technicalities, okay, about the holiday. All right? There is no such thing as a national holiday because the president and Congress can never assert power to declare a holiday that binds all 50 states to have a national holiday. So, in fact, there are no national holidays in the United States of America. Instead, what the United States of America can do, which is what they did here, is they can declare Juneteenth a federal holiday, which is different than a national holiday. And when they declare Juneteenth a national holiday, federal employees are all given the day paid off. Now, there are only 10 federal recognized holidays throughout the entire calendar year. The last time a federal holiday was put onto the calendar was 1983. That's how far we go back before they added a federal holiday before this. It was Ronald Reagan, Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Oh, wow. That was the
last federal holiday given. So, now, going back to Opal Lee, she said this year, the annual 2.5-mile walk is going to be national, in addition to the Fort Worth event. Organizers in Houston, Los Angeles, Atlanta, New York, and other cities have set up walks to commemorate the day. So there's going to be 2.5-mile walks everywhere on Juneteenth in commemoration of Juneteenth, in support of Juneteenth, in recognition of the 2.5 years it took for the enslaved people in Texas to learn they were free, and in recognition also of Opal Lee, who was walking these 2.5 miles within cities during her walk before she would give her speeches. She would walk 2.5 miles to the speech. Now, with every step, Lee said she prays and she gives thanks. And she says, I'll be thinking of my ancestors. I'll be thinking about my great-great-grandchildren and my grandchildren and my children. So that is really a very touching story. Almost brings me to tears a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, you know, like you well up a little bit. You think, you know, what she did. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know what's so beautiful about it is she, of course she did it for her too, but like, you know, she really did it for the people to come, you know, the generations to come. It's almost selfless, you know, she's dedicated her life to this, and for her to be so happy, it's not like, you know, other people would be like, oh, this, when I'm 94, now they're doing this, I can't even enjoy it really, but like she's doing it for generations to come, and that's what's so beautiful about it.
How do you walk at 89, 1,400 miles? How's that even possible?
You have to be really passionate about something.
And you got to be in really good shape at 89 too.
You do.
And you got to have 100% your mind and 100% your body.
Yeah.
To be able to do that and be the grandmother of Juneteenth at 89 years old?
She deserves it.
Wow. Meanwhile, Essence Magazine has compiled a list of Juneteenth events happening all over the country. You can go to essence.com and search Juneteenth to see what celebrations are going on in your area. And, you know, the other thing I would say, and maybe we'll talk about this another day, but I think Colin Kaepernick also has a lot to do with this too. I mean, not necessarily Juneteenth, but I mean, here's a guy who in the around 2015 started taking a knee when nobody else was taking a knee.
Right.
And, you know, he did okay for himself in the end because he has a lot of endorsements from Nike and everything. But at the time, he risked his entire career for something that he believed in. He brought prominence to the Black Lives Matters movement that may not have been there before obviously culminating, in the death of Eric Floyd in Minneapolis. I mean George Floyd, excuse me, in Minneapolis. But still, he was doing it when nobody was.
Yeah. Agree.
So I mean, I in a way, I look back in the history and I say, what would have happened had he not started taking that knee? Would we be here today? I don't know.
I don't know if the conversation would be. I don't know if the conversation is as loud as it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Meanwhile, going to some other happy Friyay news, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Yes.
Here's a story of three. We're staying in the octogenarian stories today, I guess. Here's a story of three women: Ruth Schwartz, Lorraine Perello, and Edith Mitzi Moscow. They've been best friends forever. They all turned 100 years old within days of each other.
Oh.
Three best friends for life, all born around June 1921, the same month Babe Ruth broke the career home run record in Major League Baseball. All born in that same month in Manhattan, best friends for life, all lived to 100.
That's
Oh
amazing.
my God!
Isn't that such a great story too?
Oh,
Share this
I
with
love
my
that.
bestie.
Right? Wouldn't you love to have your besties at 100?
yes.
I'm sending my friends this story.
Yeah. Now, Ruth Schwartz says she never thought, I'm quoting her, I never thought I'd reach this moment, but the years kind of crept up on me, and here I am. Her birthday was on Tuesday, 3 days after Moscow's and 3 days before Perello's. And they have been attending a series of birthday parties thrown for them by friends and family. Now, Lorraine Perello, who along with Schwartz and Moscow has been fully vaccinated against COVID, said, during the time of the pandemic, they were stuck indoors. I used to only have my meals in my room. I didn't like it, but now I've got my independence back.
Oh.
Yeah, she was an opera singer at the Metropolitan Museum. At the Met. She was treated to a birthday lunch at Carmine's, attended by friends from the New York tennis circuit. Perello was into her 90s before she hung up her tennis racket. So here's another very active woman playing tennis into her 90s.
Jeez.
Switching her interests to bridge. And she
That's how they
credits
made it to 100.
her longevity to pursuing her passion. Almost kind of like Opal,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's a real good lesson from all of these ladies to all of our squad and ourselves and our crew on how to live a good, long life.
You know what else I love about that
What?
picture? One of them with their champagne glass. That's how you know they can enjoy a good time.
I mean, they're in good shape. They're picking up the champagne and everything,
I love it.
right? I would love to live to 100 as long as I'm in good shape. I wouldn't want to live to 100 and not be in good shape.
Yeah.
Right. But here,
So you got 50 years. You got 50 years, Brad.
that's
Figure
right.
it out.
That's right. Now, but if you think about it, in both stories, the one thing that all these women had in common is they had passion for something, and they maintained their activities, their mind, and their bodies.
Exactly.
Now, Moscow, what was her first name? She was Mitzi Moscow? Edith Moscow, excuse me. She gives her formula. She says she's making the best of each day. She is a retired manager who worked in the office of her husband, an attorney, for most of her life. She said she feels wonderful about turning 100. She says, I'm very happy I made it this far. And referencing coronavirus, she says, I'm very fortunate to have skipped over all the sickness, to have survived.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, her children, now talking about Schwartz. Schwartz is who? Schwartz is Ruth Schwartz. The pandemic separated Ruth Schwartz from her son Andrew for nearly 2 years, and that estrangement ended on Saturday because now they're all vaccinated. And when Ruth Schwartz is not partying, she keeps herself busy attending all that New York offers. Operas, lectures, outdoor concerts. She says she has her mind and her health. Very nice.
I love it.
Yes. And finally, because it's Father's Day, guys. Finally, because it's Father's Day, did you ever hear about this guy, Rob Kenny?
No.
He has a YouTube channel. It's entitled Dad, How Do I? And it went viral in May last year. And he started it during the pandemic, never having done any YouTube before. He now has over 1 million subscribers.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
So I
1 million over 1 million subscribers in less than a year on YouTube. Dad, how do I? Which goes to show, squad, subscribe to YouTube.
I mean, when you're providing, and Yo-Yo, we have these conversations all the time, especially in what we do, right? It's like there's a niche and there's an audience for everything.
That is
like
right.
When you really think about this, like honestly, and it's whatever, like a lot of people don't have a father figure, like a true father figure. And it's available on YouTube.
Exactly.
And there's over 1 million people that need.
Exactly.
I'm actually on his page right now. He actually has 3.43 million subscribers.
Wow.
And only 85 videos.
Wow. So he released it. He released. Let me tell you about him. All right, because it's a good Father's Day story. Now he released his first video shortly after we had our lockdowns in the pandemic. He wanted to provide some practical advice to people, how to fix a toilet, and emotional support that he's proud of you. Now, he expected to have only 30 or 40 subscribers. He passed, actually, it says here, he passed his first million in 2 months. Now, the seeds for his video were planted during his childhood. Here, let's watch a video of him first. We have the sound?
The style. So again, this is considered a round toilet seat. So I'm going to show you how to remove this one, or at least this style. So again, when you're picking out your toilet seat, you just want to make sure you're picking out the...
And I think we have one other one with his car, right?
Red to the dead. Okay, this battery's dead. There's really nothing going on. This is just sitting here. Okay, we're going to go over to the other car, the car with the good battery, and I'll show you.
So
it's really like a dad.
He's like a dad, right? So let me tell you how it all started. It started going back to his childhood. He's 57 years old now. But when his parents divorced, his dad gained custody and his mom was legally declared unfit to raise him. His mother was an alcoholic. Now, Kenny, who is 7 of 8 children and was 14 years at the time when his father drove away and said, "I'm done raising kids." Jeez. So he didn't have a mother or then a father. He ended up living with an older sibling who raised him. So now he got married, he has his own children, and Kenny's family supported the idea of his YouTube channel when he first mentioned it, but he didn't materialize until a few years later when he had more free time during the lockdowns. Now, amid what Kenny calls a perfect storm of his backstory, lending him authenticity, and the pandemic heightening the need for such content, his channel now has, you're correct, Yo-Yo, 3.5 million subscribers, 15 million views on less than 100 videos. He's releasing a book, Dad, How Do I? It was released May 18th, and he's talked to networks about a potential television show. So for decades, Kenny didn't look forward to Father's Day because he had no interest in honoring his dad. But then he had kids of his own and later forgave his parents. And last Father's Day, his followers mailed him scores of cards thanking him for being an amazing father figure to them, to those people who don't have fathers. And what a transformation that is as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, is it a beautiful story?
Yeah.
No trifling stories.
We like our Friyay stories today,
I like
right?
it. Makes you feel nice and warm.
Yeah, I feel very warm and cozy and cuddly
light.
right now.
I feel light. I'm excited to move forward
That's
and get
right.
all these calls, social media check-in. We could do it all now.
That's right. And that was a much better story than wishing the Sperminator happy Father's Day, right?
Right. Lord, that guy.
Remember this guy, the Sperminator from
God,
Wednesday.
there he is.
Now
There
that
he
you-
is.
It's just funny, the
now that you
name.
know, after you talk about this father, it's just kind of like, look at him.
Look at the, yeah.
Smart.
The name just makes me laugh. The
It's
Sperminator.
It's the beach picture for me. It's the beach picture for me. Like I just the beach picture, and I just need like Sperminator, like right across. Like
Send that picture to your friends too, if anybody wants to get pregnant. Say, I know this guy. If you're looking to have a baby, it's called the Sperminator.
He's willing and
He's
able.
willing and able. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Happy Juneteenth to everyone as well. And I think we're going to get into our Braducation. In today's Braducation, I talk about 5 things you should never post on social media if you're trying to get a visa or a U.S. residency. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. The Department of Homeland Security collects the social media information of not only anyone who is trying to get a visa or United States residency, but even those who are already naturalized United States citizens. From aliases to photos to likes, all of this is collected and stored in your permanent immigration digital files. So social media posts can be used against you in your immigration case. Now, obviously, the first rule of thumb is to use common sense and think before you post for all the world to see. But some posts that can get you in trouble might really surprise you. Number 1, don't post that you're getting a new job. Number 2, do not post that you are looking for work in the United States if you do not have work authorization. 3, do not post questions on how to set up a United States company in order to obtain a visa. 4, if you are traveling to the United States on a non-immigrant visa, do not post for immigration lawyer suggestions. Number 5, do not post green card questions about getting married. This will raise red flags to the authorities. Now, immigrating to the United States on a visitor's visa or student visa with the intent of getting married is a misrepresentation and a bar to getting a green card. In fact, getting married in the first 90 days of entry on a tourist visa is going to get your immigration paperwork denied. So if you are posting on social media about your engagement or upcoming marriage, don't assume the United States government doesn't know about it. And you can watch all our Braducations on OnlyFans.tv, the only fully clothed lawyer giving advice on OnlyFans. I love it. Let's go do. You got an immigration question? I'm going to give you my best answer. Give us a call now, 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Stella in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Stella.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
All right. A few questions here. Back in 2012, my mother applied to adjust my status.
Mm-hmm.
It was approved a year later. Unfortunately, there weren't any visas available. A few years down the line, I got married in 2017. Did not end well. Ended up filing for VAWA in 2019. Is there any way for me, as the case for 2012 is still open, is there any way for me to pay those filing fees and just continue with the approval that I got on my mum's on my mum's case.
Well, I don't think you filed an adjustment. You filed an I-130, and there was a waiting list for green cards.
On my
Right. So
the one in
right.
2012?
So you have some fee bills from the National Visa Center. If they didn't cancel,
Yes,
if they didn't cancel it,
the 6th
right? They didn't
of
cancel
next
it.
month.
The answer is yes, except this is for you. I hear a British accent for you to go back to the UK, and you have a 10-year bar, so you would need to do a provisional waiver. Doing the VAWA adjusts your status here. So as long as you have a strong VAWA case, I would continue with the VAWA. If you don't have a strong VAWA case, then pay the fee bills, withdraw your VAWA at some point, and do a provisional waiver, which takes 18 months to do. Then you would have to go home and come back. So, I mean, I don't know what, it all comes down to what's the deal with the VAWA.
Yeah, because right now there are, and I don't know why, but I'm hearing from a lot of other VAWA people that USCIS is asking for RFEs. A lot of people are saying that they're getting them.
They ask for RFEs for everybody for years and years and years. So, but if you were in a bona fide marriage with your spouse, and you're a person of good moral character, and he physically abused you, or you had extreme emotional abuse, which is habitual emotional abuse on a habitual, regular basis, you prove it. We win cases all the time.
My,
so
psychological exam too.
Yeah. So I mean, we win cases all the time. So you prove the truth. But if you in the back of your mind, you're like, well, it wasn't really, it's kind of iffy. Well, then, you got to start thinking about it another way.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure because I'm like, all right, you're asking for items that we've already sent up, but they're asking for them again. So I wasn't sure if that was like a normal thing.
The National Visa Center has no idea that you filed a VAWA.
Oh, I see. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and happy Father's Day for Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Good luck. All right. Let's go to Anna Kay in Boston.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Thank you so much for what you're doing, Brad.
My pleasure.
I have two questions. So back in 2010, my friend's husband was arrested for promoting prostitution. He pled guilty to promoting prostitution and aggravated assault.
Okay.
He's under the Adam Walsh Act for immigration.
Oh wow! So the accusation was he was promoting prostitution of children under 18.
No, so he approached a 17-year-old to work for him.
Right.
However, she did not work for him. Like they were all arrested before she was able to do anything. So the trafficking of sexual servitude charge was dismissed. He only pled guilty to promoting prostitution and aggravated assault. He was, however, required to register as a sex offender. It's been September coming. It's going to be 2 years since my friend and the husband has been married. Last November.
Not every sex offender falls under the Adam Walsh Act. So this could be an exception. I don't know for a fact. I would need to see exactly what he pled guilty to, because a lot of times, as soon as USCIS says sex offender, they stamp Adam Walsh Act, and then it takes years and years and years. So sometimes it's good to just argue. Even though I'm on the sex offender registry list, I don't fall under Adam Walsh. I never abused a child. At least maybe that's the case. I don't know based on what you told me.
Well, they're basically saying that because he approached a 17-year-old.
I understand what you're saying to me. What I'm saying to you is it is not 100%. You're on the child sex registry list, 100% Adam Walsh waiver. There are certain people who still have to register on the child sex registry list that are not necessarily require an Adam Walsh waiver. That's what I'm saying to you. It's very technical.
Okay.
So maybe they should be speaking to a lawyer who understands those technicalities. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Alan in Rialto, California. Alan.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Okay, so my sister, she's currently a DACA under. She has her work permit under that.
Right.
My parents, my mom got an I-30 approved back in 1995, and then their priority date.
Who sponsored your mom back in 1995?
My grandfather.
Okay.
My grandfather.
And when was your sister born?
My sister was born in 97.
And when did your mom get her green card?
My mom got her green card in December of 2018.
Wow, so long later.
Yeah.
Okay. And now your question is what?
My question is, since it took so long for her to get the green card since the I-130 was approved, my sister turned 21 in June of 2018, and my parents' priority date was April 2018, but they didn't get their green card until December.
You told me your sister was filed, your mom was filed in 95. So what are you talking about a 2018 priority date?
Yeah, her priority date came into 2018.
Her priority date became current in 2018, you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that, I don't know what you're saying. You tell me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they got...
Because the priority date of 1995 did not become current in 2018. It became current a lot earlier.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what I would say is this. For sure, your sister is 245I, 100%, which means that she could always pay a penalty fee and get her green card here through a new sponsorship. She is not qualified based on what you told me. She's not qualified under the Child Status Protection Act with a 1995 priority date because those priority dates were current well before 2018. If she was filed in, where is are you Philippines?
No, from Mexico.
Maybe Mexico. I take that back. Mexico has a different waiting list. What I would need to do, she's probably not under the Child Status Protection Act anyway, but has mom or dad ever filed for her again?
No, I don't think. I think now since they got the LPR card, they can now file an I-130 for her.
They can, and she could adjust. She's 245I. The question becomes, is she still under the Child Status Protection Act?
Yeah.
That's the question. I don't know the answer because for two reasons. I can calculate it, I just don't know it. I would need to know how long the I-130 took. I would need to figure out exactly when her priority date was, when it became current, and if she was able to apply for an adjustment of status within 1 year of visa availability, which probably she didn't do. So my guess is, based on what you're telling me, she's probably not, but we should double check. Nevertheless, mom or dad should refile for her immediately. She would be grandfathered under 245I.
Okay, and what would be what would they file her?
An I-130 visa petition.
Okay, and then basically after the I-130,
will you wait?
Okay.
All right, but I think it sounds like you guys need a lawyer. So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Ram in Dallas, Texas. Ram.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I filed a writ of mandamus lawsuit because I keep on hearing on your show for the adjustment of status because it was delayed since 2019. So they finally gave me a date on second week of July. So do you have any idea what's going to happen on that day?
I don't know anything about your case.
It is about the adjustment of status. They call me.
Who's sponsoring you?
They send my wife.
Okay. Is this going to be your first? Is this going to be your first time being interviewed?
No, the I-130 is already approved. So they calling. They said they send me a letter to bring the I-693 and the I-64.
Well, they're probably going to interview you then based on to make sure you're not inadmissible, meaning you don't have any criminal records, no fraud, you made a legal entry into America, you have your medical and a good affidavit of support.
So if everything is good that day, will they issue me a green card?
That's the hope.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's go to Lynn in Brooklyn. Lynn.
Hi.
Hi, how
Uncle
are you?
Brad.
How you doing?
Yes, thanks so much for the great work you do on this show,
My
and
pleasure.
I especially like your "What's Your American Dream" video.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that reminds me of why I'm in this country.
That's really nice to hear. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. We enjoy producing it too. Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, I had a pending I-485 before I filed for a VAWAR based on the I-360. Then I was able to convert the pending I-485 with the VAWAR, so now I have a VAWAR and the I-485.
Right.
Okay, so I never got an EAD based on the pending I-485 before, and now that they converted it to like with the VAWAR, I also did not receive anything.
So then,
but I
have you
got the
filed an
receipt.
Have you filed an I-765 and wrote C9 on the form?
I didn't file a new one because
Okay, so
I
file
converted-
an I-765, and then where it says under why do you qualify, just write C9, section C, and the number 9.
Oh, okay. So I cannot reuse the old I-765 that was with the pending I-485 before, even
You
though
can,
they
but
converted?
I don't know what happened to it. You said that was from a long time ago, or it's still pending,
Yeah,
or what?
that was from a long time ago.
So then file a new I-765. That's probably done. File a new I-765 with proof of the receipt of the I-45, proof of the receipt of the I-360. You attach photocopies, and then fill out the form. It's just your name, your address, where you're from. And then the last section, which always throws everybody, is what is the basis of obtaining your work permit? Because you have a pending adjustment, you write C9. You'll get one in a few months.
Oh, okay. Do you think I'm going to pay for that too, or?
No, you'll be free.
Oh, okay. I also got the prima facie.
Great.
And
Great.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good luck.
Okay, so that was my question.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much.
Good luck. Okay.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Let's go to Maureen in Brooklyn. Maureen.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me on your show.
My pleasure.
Okay, my reason for calling is a question. I came up here on a C1 visa, and I got married to a citizen. I'm married for 15 years now.
Right.
But when I got married, my husband filed for me, and they sent me a letter and said that because of my status,
you can't adjust.
Yes.
Right.
So now it's 15 years since we married.
You're still together.
And we are still together.
So you need to file an I-130, get it approved, then do a provisional waiver, go home to your home country, come back in 2 weeks. This has been around for a decade. Should have been doing this for at least the last 10 years.
Okay, so is a possibility that I would be back if I just leave because I'm here,
If you just leave, there is no possibility you will come back. If you leave, let me finish. If you leave with a provisional waiver, you will come back in 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, so it's a must that I have to leave.
It is a must that you have to leave if you came on a crewman's visa.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You are better. Given the choice of living undocumented here for the rest of eternity, or going home for 2 weeks and coming back with a waiver that thousands of people before you have already done, it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
No-brainer.
Okay.
Got to do it.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Juan in Jacksonville, Florida. Juan.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing, Mr. Brad?
Good. What's going on?
Thank you. Not much. Thank you for your time. Okay. My case is the the next. In 2008, I got a removal in absentia, from my asylum case.
Where you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay.
And my attorney at that time, he filed for a motion to reopen and motion to reconsider.
Uh-huh.
And it was denied, both of them.
Okay. Did you appeal to the BIA?
Yes. The thing is, I'm married. My wife is a U.S. citizen.
How did you come to the United States?
Like I was a tourist.
All right. So you need to file an I-130 visa petition.
Yeah.
Get your I-130 approved. Simultaneously make a motion to reopen to request what's called prosecutorial discretion. And then after you get the prosecutorial discretion, request the judge to recalendar your case to adjust your status based on the approved I-130. I mean, there's a process to go through. You don't have to live here undocumented, and you certainly don't have to live here with an order of deportation. At any day, they can come in and knock on your door and arrest you.
Yeah, I know that. I've been like that since
right. So
2008.
you're married to a U.S. citizen. You got kids. This is the process to go through.
Okay.
Bona fide I-130 petition. Motion to reopen for prosecutorial discretion and adjustment of status.
Is that a long process, or
yes, it's not like this, but 2-3 year process. But that's what the process is. But don't live here undocumented with a warrant for your arrest for deportation when you have family and children, and certainly a pathway to get a green card.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Thank you very much.
All right, and by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, you could always follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein. You follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein. I may not answer your question immediately, but if you DM me your questions or issues, I promise you that over a day or 2 or 3, I will get to it and I will respond. You are talking to me personally. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. You follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. You are getting the best 30 seconds of our show. You can't handle 2 hours, but you can handle 30 seconds of Yo-Yo and Vanessa and 45 seconds of me, maybe. Your place to go. Instagram at Brad Show Live. And of course, you could also follow us on TikTok. You love speed rounds like we do. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. All of our speed rounds, me blowing up, balloons, everything. People love our TikToks. Follow us on TikTok at Brad Show Live. Jonathan and Vanessa.
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
All right, let's do something we call social media check-in. We check in with everybody's issues, problems, concerns, questions, comments.
Yes, all right. Brad Squad VIP. If you guys want to join Brad Squad VIP, all you have to do is go on Facebook, put in the search Brad Squad, and you join the group. You can throw in your question anytime throughout the day. These VIP members use that. So Sean Brooks said, I have an AOS interview coming up next month, but I don't have any joint documents with my spouse because I don't have a social. And it's needed in order for me to get, on my spouse's bank account and health insurance. I only have photos and mail. Should I be worried? We have our own house, so no lease.
Well, that's certainly not helpful. I don't know why you don't have a social. You should have got a work permit already. But you'll explain the situation when you go to the officer. As long as you can prove that you live with your spouse and it's a bona fide marriage, that's what's most important.
Tohib Bisola Salisu, another Brad Squad VIP member. Why does immigration delay someone that travels with advanced parole at port entry in the U.S.?
Why do they delay? Because they found you inadmissible, or your name comes up with a red flag check that they have to bring you into a secondary inspection.
Kayar Ikromi, Brad Squad VIP member. How long after the I-751 interview can I file a mandamus if there's no decision made?
You can do it the next day, but if you want to be successful, I suggest wait a year.
Etudiant Nor, another Brad Squad VIP member. Can I travel outside of the U.S. to my hometown in Africa with an approved travel document? My wife is in the military, Air Force, active duty, and I have my I-130, I-485 pending. I also have a probation of 1 year for a DUI.
If you have advanced parole, probation for DUI should be okay.
John Adal on Facebook. After the new law, is USCIS automatically renewing EADs for people who had them for a year, or do we have to apply for a renewal?
You have to apply for the renewal, but you're going to get a 2-year renewal.
Cynthia Raj Handari, Brad Squad VIP member. I filed the letter for my I-130 family immigration on August 23rd, 2013. It was approved on July 14th of 2018, almost 3 years ago. How long do I have to wait for the interview date?
Who sponsored her in 2013? I don't
no,
know what family. I don't know what family member she's referring to. We need to know more information. Yo.
Rudwa Nupane in YouTube. How often does USCIS approve I-212 and I-601 waivers if the VAWA petition is approved?
How often do they approve? It's less likely to be approved than more likely to be approved. But if you have a good lawyer, more likely to approve than less likely to be approved. But I don't have an exact statistic on the number of approvals.
Leslie Benoit on YouTube. I am an arriving immigrant. I applied for asylum, but it has been administratively closed. I have a pending adjustment along with a VAWA. Am I eligible for TPS? I'm from Haiti.
You are, but if you have a pending VAWA, why do you need TPS? Because the VAWA an adjustment allows you to stay here. You have a work permit through VAWA. I'm not sure why you need the TPS. You could even get travel documentation through a VAWA and adjustment. So you're not going to get any additional benefits from TPS unless you think your VAWA is going to be denied. Well, then, yeah, go apply for TPS as a backup, so at least you're in legal status no matter what.
O'Neill Lowe on YouTube. How long does it take for the embassy to send you an interview letter?
Vanessa.
Green21778 on YouTube. I am an F1 study visa program which ends in December. My father applied for an I-130 which was approved category F2B. What adjustment of status and how long does it take to approve? Can I stay in the U.S. if iOS is in process?
If you're on a student visa and your priority date's current on an F2B petition, you can file the adjustment of status and stay in the U.S. while the adjustment is pending. Absolutely.
Okay, Akwasi AB on Facebook. What happens if I forget to renew my 2-year conditional green card?
You will be illegal, out of status, undocumented, subject to removal and deportation. Well, Vanessa, I don't hear you. I still don't hear you.
Here, let me try.
Okay.
Bahira Millward on Facebook. Do you have any info on the pathway to green cards for non-immigrants that was talked about by the Biden administration during the election?
I have a lot of information. The information is the laws haven't passed yet. When they do, we'll let you know.
Sophie on Facebook. I'm a permanent resident. I filed for my husband and 2 daughters under 21 last September. I know they have lots of backlog. How long do you estimate it will take before they approve the case?
About for an F2A, which is husband and children under 21 of a permanent residence, about a 2-year process, 2.5 years, something like that. 2 more, Yo-Yo.
Okay, Kavisha Combs, Facebook. If someone was incarcerated, got deported, and told they can't return to the U.S., but they have a son in the States, and his name is not on his birth certificate, can the son still file for the father? And how can he get his name on the birth certificate?
Well, don't worry about the name on a birth certificate, because you could always prove he's the father by blood, DNA. But but more importantly is, why was the person deported? Are they eligible to even return?
Hawa on Facebook. Can someone with an asylum case pending for more than 4.5 years apply for H-1B or EB-2? The person graduated and got a master's degree in the United States and is working with the degree?
Well, you wouldn't do an H-1B because you would have to leave the country, and where you're going to go, if you applied for asylum, you can't go back to your home country. But certainly you can do an EB-2 perm I-140 adjustment through a job sponsorship for sure.
Awesome. All right, and now in today's close-up, Spar and Bernstein partner and immigration attorney Shannon LaGuerre-Maingrette tells us whether men are eligible to apply for the Violence Against Women's Act.
We have a large number of male victims that come in. 1 in 10 men will experience abuse, intimate sexual violence, partner violence, domestic violence in America. That's a really staggering number if you think about it, right? That's almost shocking, because for women, I guess you understand that when you hear that, I mean, I'm shocked by it. For women, 4.8 million women are deemed to suffer intimate partner violence. But for men, it's almost very surprising. And a lot of times men tend to be very embarrassed. They don't want to talk about it. And it really takes some time sitting down and being able to listen to your client and to hear the story of what they're going through, and taking that time to say, you know what, I want you to understand that you are basically facing domestic violence, emotional abuse. I've had clients that are men that have come in and they were in a what seemed to be a happy relationship, and financially things are going bad, and usually sometimes that's what happens with some men. Financially they lose their job, or maybe they were in their country and they had this really glamorous job and it was like almost kind of like a long distance dating. They come here to the United States, and next thing you know, the spouse is angry. Like, wait, what happened? What do you mean you can't support me? What do you mean you don't have the money to be able to contribute? And they're just angry because, again, what they were expecting, this glamorous life, no longer exists, because now you have to work hard and either money is not coming in, they can't find a job, language sometimes can be an issue, and the wives end up being very verbally abusive and making the man feel less than. The man ends up becoming depressed. A lot of times the wives will take it out on the stepchildren. And a lot of times the children are like, I'm just afraid to go outside of my room because I feel that basically I'm going to be attacked. A lot of times I'm afraid to come out of my room because I see how she's talking to my dad. So at that point, basically, a lot of times men don't realize it and they almost kind of blame themselves, but that in itself is abuse. You should not feel less than. No one should make you feel like you are nobody. And again, if it becomes a practice, a pattern and practice of this happening on an everyday basis or even on an every week basis, it's not acceptable. It is extremely cruel. And that is the standard that people have to keep in mind.
All right, I like those. I think that's very interesting what Shannon has to say, especially with Violence Against Women Act as it pertains to men as well. A lot of men don't realize that. All right, 50 seconds, 9 immigration questions. Let's end off a good Friday. Let's do it. I'm ready when you are.
You know the deal, Brad.
I do. Just answer and move. Answer and move.
Lord, please.
Right?
Okay.
Just answer,
Yes.
move. Answer, move. Don't give us a whole explanation. Give an answer and move on. That's what Vanessa told me. Let's do it.
All right. Will the person filing for VAWA have to see an immigration judge?
Only if you get denied.
Can an undocumented person go to U.S. college?
Yes, if they're willing to take you.
Do I have to pay a fee for a U visa application?
No.
Can a Belgian citizen work in the U.S. and apply for PR?
Why not?
When will TPS for Haitians be released?
Any moment.
Will I-130 wait for adult unmarried children reduce soon?
Don't know what you're asking.
What is a marriage exemption?
I don't know what you're asking there either.
Do I need to prove injury as a crime victim?
Yes.
If I file for citizenship in October 2021, when will it come through?
In a year or less. But that's no, I didn't answer. No.
That's not your fault, though.
Yeah, I don't know what a marriage exemption. There is no marriage exemption. I don't know what that.
But I missed the word time. I read it too quickly. Will I-130 wait time for adult unmarried children reduce soon? I left out.
Oh, I see. The answer is no.
You know what's funny? I was gonna take out that question.
Yeah.
And put something else.
Yeah, I don't know what marriage exemption.
Felt it too.
Marriage exemption for what?
You
But
know
we
what?
still have a good Friyay, nevertheless.
It's a balloon for Father's Day.
I'm only going to ruminate that we blew up for about 20 minutes. I usually ruminate for hours over this. But I will only ruminate for 20 minutes because I think I'll get over this one because it's really not my fault. But when it's my fault, I'm mad at myself all night long. I swear. I go, damn. And I can't. And I keep going through all the questions. I'm like,
Today you don't have to.
I will not ruminate about it. All right. Comments of the day. Comments of the day.
All right. Hey. Comes from Miloslav Minkov saying the squad is early today. Thank you, God, for having my notifications on. Otherwise, my Friday won't be the same without Uncle Brad and the squad. Hey, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. What's up, Miloslav?
Thank you. Always has nice things to say. Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Our next comment of Gowie Maxine saying, squad up family, I am in the house, so happy that I can't breathe. Happy Friday, everyone. Please breathe. Please breathe.
We need you.
Yes, we need you alive for Monday. We don't need anything happening to you over the weekend. So please breathe. So we got you for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week too. How's that?
That part. All right, our third comment of the day comes from Jacqueline Clark saying, Happy Father's Day. When it comes, Brad, I hope you are treated like the king you are.
I hope so too. We'll see what my kids do.
And to wrap up one of our VIP Star Girl Mika saying, Happy Father's Day to you, Brad. We call you Uncle Brad, but you have taken care of us immigrants as if we are your own children, and that's how much you care about us and your clients. Thank you for being a dad to all of us and also your children.
Aww.
We all do love you loads. Star Girl!
Star Girl, wow, that was very nice. Thank you very much. Very, very, very nice. That was very sweet. And of course, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Happy Juneteenth to the entire United States of America, no matter color, creed, religion. It's a celebration for everybody. Every man, woman, child should be free to do what they want to do in their life. So I think it's a celebration for everybody. Happy Juneteenth, happy Friday, happy Father's Day, and we'll see you all on Monday. Thanks for watching. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.
are you doing?